Yo! Hello? How's it going? Oh, Blood showing off some goods here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the October 2022 Community Showcase featuring Bloodworth. How's it going?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Doing good.
We got some
got Christmas plane tickets last night.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Managed to find some tickets so that we can fly for less than $1,000.
I was gonna say, did you have to take it alone? Because their fare is a little pricey. Probably why my parents haven't bugged me about mine yet, because they're like,
Yeah, it was like $3.90 per ticket. So non-stop on the way out.
That's actually pretty
Stopping
good.
in Austin on the way back.
That's not bad, actually.
Not Spirit. Nope. Doesn't even look at Spirit's prices.
Yeah, don't.
But for people that have no idea why I'm showing off a blue box, this is a capture card that has multiple inputs. So we can do 4 consoles at once. And potentially when we're not doing 4 consoles at once, we can maybe use it for the camera so we aren't having to reset the computer every time we start up. Maybe.
Yeah, nothing would give me greater pleasure than just nuking the card we use to capture the big, nice camera in the studio right now. That thing has been nothing but a driver nightmare. So, watch.
Who knows? We might have another driver nightmare.
Don't worry. This PC is a driver nightmare.
It's Easy Ally's curse to have some problem with technology. I got my laptop in, and I've just been troubleshooting basic stuff.
Yeah, for whatever reason, this computer just can't. Oh, let me turn those off.
The audio was weird. And then
I didn't make any adjustments to the audio. You said that synced at the end.
Our sync was like a little bit off during the hangout. Just like very little. It was like coming after, so we would open our mouths and then we would hear it.
1.
Just slightly.
2. Okay. Is the audio behind or ahead?
It was behind for me. See if Pixelated still agrees.
Okay, so here we go.
Sarah says ahead. Great.
So the audio is behind, so it needs less of a delay.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Try that. That might be a little bit much, but we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, ready? Oh, quarter second? Then it probably was too much.
Yeah, I think that was too much. From what I saw before, Bob.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3.
Our search says we're good. Audio's still behind video?
So everyone's saying it's good except for Pixelated at this point. Try refreshing Pixelated.
Yeah, but I was having the issue too, so that's...
Well, it could have fixed, but they might not have... It might not... sometimes you do need... After we do an adjustment, you do need to refresh. Try refreshing real quick.
Okay.
We did change something. So,
try now.
All right, ready?
Bob.
1, 2, 3.
Pixelated says it's good.
All right, cool.
We hit it.
All right. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for reminding us on that.
Yep, and that was our installment of troubleshooting with our community. Thank you. Our new $50,000 patron tier.
You think that's a joke, but it's like, wait, it makes us stop for a second. We're like, oh, problem. But yeah, so my laptop though, the audio sounded all weird and muffled, and so I ended up.
Your laptop's having issues?
It's like I have to calibrate it. Like the audio was weird. I had to download this Nahimic software, and then when I downloaded it, it didn't work. So I had to download a repair tool, and then the repair tool was flagged by the antivirus. So I had to say mark it as safe, and then it worked. And then when I turned it on, it was good. But different settings sound better. Like there's one setting that sounds good for Disney Plus, and a different setting that sounds good for freaking like YouTube.
What is Blood?
I don't know why I'm cursed.
Laptop curse.
And then the colors were just weird, and so I've been trying to tweak the colors, and so they're sort of right, but not quite right. But none of the like settings I try to tweak seem to get the colors correct, and I don't.
This
I
is
thought
laptop.
Don, Isla, or Gabby, one of them would know how to calibrate, and
Man,
they just all
To me,
like, no,
this is
I don't know.
laptops. I've always hated laptops. I've always think there's always been issues with laptops for 20 years.
But hey, the batteries and look. Also, the color thing is super weird because it's one of those things that like it really seems to only like be an issue with like really like static stuff. Like with like looking at our logo is the main thing. It's like, oh, this isn't quite right. This isn't quite the right shade of purple or whatever. But then like if I watch a video, the video seems fine. So it's just a slight tint thing that I haven't been able to nail. But
yeah,
it's like everything kind of has like a grayness over it. It's like the tone is basically there, but it's just a little washed out. But still, you know, like it was running Ghostwire, great.
there you go. At least it does that.
Turning on ray tracing makes it a little framey, but I wasn't planning to do that. I'm not really planning to play games on it unless I'm like traveling or something.
Turn that DLSS on if it sports it.
I kind of think it doesn't, but I don't know.
Something likely wrong with the video card or the screen itself. You know what? Actually, you know what? Most MacBooks, I think, don't have. I've not seen issues with them. But then again, well, when Apple, when their CPUs take over everything, everything will run better. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, I should try to update the display drivers. That's a fair point.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got some submissions to get through here. You know the drill. Hopefully by now we go through text submissions, then our images and artwork. Now we got some audio submissions, and finally we will wrap it up with our video submissions. Is there something behind me flickering? Okay, on the camera in the viewfinder, there's something.
Oh, that's just
blinking.
like that's just like a status.
Oh, it's just the icon.
It's just
I
the
was
HUD.
starting to freak out.
Just the HUD on
Like,
the camera.
What is going? Like Studio Ghost has really.
I think
shown up.
it's like a no battery indicator or something
Gotcha.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Just the
plugged in, so
positioning
doesn't
of it
matter.
was like a little weird. Anyway, we'll alternate with these submissions. First up, none other than RF Switch, Woomy Damiani in Blood. Let's talk about my goatee for a while.
Okay.
Splatoon 3 is incredible, to say the least. Obviously, I'm having a wonderful time. The new maps, the new lobby, and the new weapons and specials all feel amazing. I love the changes to Salmon Run. The old maps feel tighter, the new mechanics are wonderful, as are the new bosses. I love fighting the King Salmonid. Salmonid? Okay. It's such an interesting challenge. But I can't talk about this game without talking about the story, so I don't know if this is allowed. Spoiler mode activated.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I haven't finished the story yet.
Oh! Uh-oh!
I don't know.
I don't know.
Skimming through it doesn't.
Yeah, this seems pretty.
Wait,
not
no,
spoiled.
the end. Yeah, it looks like the end is in there.
Okay.
Beep 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 beep.
All right.
Skip that.
Yeah, Blood is saying skip it. We're going to spoiler mode off. I'm so sorry. Okay. With that out of the way, I'm calling this my game of the year because it is absolutely amazing. Anyone who hasn't played Splatoon before, please consider it now. It's an absolutely spectacular game and well worth the time and money you will spend on it. I also love the tabletop Turf War minigame, but I'm a tabletop master, so of course I love card games. Heavens, would you look at the time? I have to go and play more. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on the showcase, but I need to bring pain down on these kids. Oh, and by the way, in the words of my own inkling, come play with me. I'm always a message away from teaching both allies and chat alike how to play the game, or if you all need a good partner. I've been known to be a good teacher, and I'm a terrifyingly good ally to help. After all, the Grim Inker is basically a summoning spell. Love, respect, and stay fresh, RF Switch. P.S. Since I've run out of allies to associate tarot cards with for real this time, the tarot card that best represents Jessie Blue is the Queen of Cups. It's easy to describe her as the matron of love and respect, as she will always warmly embrace any of us and help us up when we need it.
Nice. All right, so I'm reading this one.
Yep.
From Brandon K. Gann. To start, I want to briefly mention Gundog, written by Gary Whitta. He's been doing a weekly stream about an hour long, performed by Shannon Woodward and Troy Baker like an audiobook. The book is releasing soon, but if you're interested in a story about a young woman breaking out of an alien occupation and finding a supersized mech to fight back for humanity, I highly recommend listening to every episode for free on YouTube. Next, I want to briefly touch on Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yes. For me, it addressed a lot of things that didn't click with me from its predecessor, like cutting a lot of the bloat and doing a much better job at having me care about the cast quicker. I prefer it over Spider-Man 2018, but when identities are revealed, the bugs showed up. I had no problems to that point, but for the rest of my playtime, the benchmarks tab disappeared, audio cut out in a couple of scenes, and the final 20 minutes had odd lighting with some models not called out. Making the climax completely undercut by walls and surfaces being in the way, and I had to watch the final scenes on YouTube. Crazy. It's on PC or?
No, it's not on PC yet, so it's only
yeah,
on console.
no, wow.
I had an audio issue where a song that played at the end kept playing over every scene for like.
Oh no.
Yeah, even the credits was kind of funny.
Oh no. Another brief thing I want to touch on is the second Back for Blood DLC, Children of the Worm. Where the first DLC is a random spawn-based side quest, this one is a dedicated act. A new cleaner, new types of fun level design, and best of all, no insane difficulty spike. It's the most fun I've had with the game, leaving me looking forward to any future DLC. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about Back for Blood stuff. I knew the DLC was coming out and came out, but hadn't heard a lot of people talk. I also played the original Killzone for PS3 this month, or via PS3 this month, because I think that came out earlier. One of the many games I impulse bought a while back. I was surprised to remember about a decade ago I made it to the last chapter with 1 or 2 missions left and just inexplicably stopped. That kind of happened to me with Final Fantasy 15. I got knocked out of it for a few months, came back, and was like, oh, I'm done now. Cool. Now that I've gone back, well, it doesn't hold up. Not in how it looks, plays, characters, environments, story. Nothing is really any good.
Jeez. However,
I'm intrigued by that universe, so I bought Killzone Liberation for PSP, to eventually continue the story. However, the game I want to gush about is Prodeus. That's with a D. Prodeus. Prodeus with a T is a completely different game. Completely different. I'm only halfway done, and I'm beyond confident saying it's the single greatest Doom clone I've ever played. The voxel art style gives environments and enemies a captivating look, the soundtrack rules, and every single weapon is both satisfying and useful. To that point, I want to nominate the shotgun for best shotgun at this year's GOTYs. Yeah, send that to Huber. Make sure that gets to Huber, somebody. Available everywhere, including Game Pass, if you're into Doom or any old school FPS of yesteryear. This is a must-play. I'm loving it so much, I think it surpasses Horizon Forbidden West at the top of my GOTY list, at least until Ragnarok arrives. To close, I'm excited for the coming weeks. I'm going to replay A Plague Tale: Innocence to prepare for Requiem, dive into Gotham Knights, and I'm interested in new Tales of the Borderlands. And again, Ragnarok.
Nice. I'm just going to call it Produce. Produce. All right.
Produce.
Next submission comes from Joe Caruso. As time passes, technology that felt magical just a few years ago naturally will be taken for granted. I wanted to go over some examples of current technology that, at least to me, was unbelievable when originally released and still feels like magic when I really think about it. And I wonder if Damiani and Bloodworth feel similarly. I remember the first time I had an app that could identify almost any song just by listening to it for a few seconds. I demonstrated that to a coworker in the office in 2009, and she thought I was pulling some trick on her. To this day, I don't understand how that kind of software works, and it feels like witchcraft every time. I remember seeing an ad for some desktop computer speech-to-text software in the late 90s or early 2000s, and I thought something even remotely as smart and accurate as what was advertised was decades away. And now it's ubiquitous in our smartphones. Just 10 years ago, a video game feature I can only fantasize about is now standard on all modern consoles. The ability to retroactively record a clip of gameplay. I remember plugging my Wii into a PC with a capture device and playing back a replay of a Smash Bros. Brawl match and manually recording it. Now, on my PC, Switch, or PS5, if something amazing or funny happens, I can record the last 30 seconds with literally a button press. That makes me so happy. Similar, but even cooler tech that felt like pure magic to me when I first saw it on the SNES Classic is Gaming Rewind. Obviously, I'm not talking about rewinding like in Prince of Persia or Braid, but rewind on a hardware level. No need for constantly making save states. Just go backwards in time and continue playing when you make a stupid mistake or the game pulls some cheap move. Upscaling technologies, especially NVIDIA's DLSS, have provided a massive boost to game performance and visuals. Just 5 years ago, playing any modern, visually complex game at 4K 60 FPS was basically impossible. Now, of course, modern games look even better than they did 5 years ago, but with the help of DLSS, I can often play them at 4K and well over 90 FPS. The idea of artificial intelligence upscaling gaming images in real time with virtually no downsides is insane to me, and I'm living in that world right now. Conversely, there's recent technology that I assumed would have become widely adopted, but didn't catch on. When Apple announced that the iPhone 6 would come with a pressure-sensitive touchscreen and haptics, I thought every touchscreen in the next few years would adopt similar tech, but I can't think of any touchscreens that react to how hard they are pressed. I also thought VR would be much bigger than it is today, but man, did you see that eye tracking in PSVR 2? Yep. Now you got DLSS 3, which increasing frames.
I'm still not sold, but I need to play more advanced games that use it. I've only really checked it out a couple of times, and it's like no, turning this off and going back to what I've got.
Definitely.
But I also think that the benefit there is clearly for like he's saying for 4K.
Oh yeah.
So I think that because I have a 1080 monitor.
Oh yeah, you're
really,
not.
There's the benefit there is negligible.
Nope.
Yeah, but it was really just like 4K. I could see the downsides. It's like one of those things that like, no, I can see it. I can see what it's doing, and I don't care for it. So I'll go back to standard rendering.
Yeah, definitely need it for that. If you want to hit that 4K 60 or higher on Cyberpunk at max settings and ray tracing, definitely gonna need that.
The pressure stuff, yeah, I just don't think that'll like. I think it's just people don't think about pressure that much.
Yeah.
Remember the the PS2 had pressure sensitive buttons, and like, did anyone ever do anything with that? Like, it's just too weird. Whereas, like, I feel like an analog trigger, like, that's more intuitive. Like, you feel how far you're pulling.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's all I can think of. That
pressure-sensitive touchscreen. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would just break that thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually used one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just not something I would be thinking about.
Yeah, for sure. I think the only downside I've heard of for DLSS, especially the new 3.0, is latency, apparently.
There's latency for sure.
Because and it's drawing new frames in or whatever, so there is an issue of latency. So, but I mean, if you're playing with ray tracing and stuff, you're not playing like a highly competitive, like, need split-second reaction game.
Right.
You're
Well, and they're also pairing it with Reflex, so to kind of offset that a little bit, which Reflex is its own little weird, little magical thing. To me, it's not as extreme, but the comparison to me is like when I, would test out like xCloud on the Samsung TVs and stuff like that at Summer Game Fest, and like everyone was walking around, I was like, it's just like playing the thing at home, and I'm like, the responsiveness is just like playing at home. The image quality is rough. Like, I'm trying to aim at guys from a distance in Halo, and I'm having a kind of hard time spotting them.
Yeah.
I can definitely feel the image quality hit. But yeah, some of the other stuff was cool. I think, speech to text, some of the other things. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I also think it's really funny that, like, Kinect had all the voice command things going on, and everybody made fun of Xbox. And then, not too long after, Alexa and all that stuff started coming out. And so it's like they had the right technology for the wrong application.
Yeah, because, I mean, so many like sci-fi movies are like lights on, like stuff like that. Like that was always like basic appliance stuff. But I think keeping it simple, I think, goes a long way. The more the more like niche or complex you get, one or the other. But like gaming, it's like I don't want to tell my game console to just like no, I just want to play. Whereas
Right.
Yeah, I think things that are seen as like a chore or like you're lazy to do them, that's where it'll shine, and I think you'll find a need for that. But next entry,
Maddie, I wrote a piece on Nintendo Switch reflecting on the past 5 years and what I feel it's missing compared to previous Nintendo hardware. I made sure it was less than 500 words too. Nintendo Switch has been on the market now for over 5 years, and while its first-party offerings have been stellar, its third-party output and exclusives have been less interesting compared to previous generations. Due to the unique hardware capabilities of the DS, 3DS, Wii, and Wii U, third-party studios were able to capitalize on each platform's unique offerings. On the DS and 3DS, you had the second screen, which many games utilized for maps or touchscreen inventories, like Castlevania and Etrian Odyssey, for example. The Wii Remote/Nunchuck offered motion controls, and the success in popularity and impact of Wii Sports speaks for itself. Affordable space adventures on the Wii U, for example, used the gamepad exclusively and provided an experience you couldn't find anywhere else at the time. Nintendo Switch is one of the best-selling consoles to date, and it continues to sell extremely well, but outside of the fact that it's a home console/portable hybrid, does it really offer anything else that you can't find on other competing platforms, especially now with the Steam Deck? Most third-party and indie games perform well enough on the Switch, but if you exclude some extra content added to various Switch ports, what makes playing third-party indie releases special on that platform? The more esoteric side of Nintendo's hardware legacy this generation seems to be delegated to external add-on products like Labo and Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. These products feel more in line with Nintendo's more gimmicky console features from previous generations, but they feel more detached/distanced from the Switch itself compared to other accessories and peripherals that accompany Nintendo hardware in the past. Now that we're 5+ years into Switch's life cycle, we've also been seeing the bite-sized first-party titles that Nintendo would have historically released on DS and 3DS alongside their main course on consoles. Kirby's Dream Buffet is certainly an example of this, and it makes me want to see more smaller games from Nintendo's core properties. Are there teams that could be making DS/3DS sized equivalents for Switch that could accompany the bigger releases? I'd like to think so. Dream Buffet also feels like the perfect example of Nintendo's unwillingness to commit to a fully online live service experience. Dream Buffet is right there, it's just missing a proper battle pass with seasonal updates. It's also the first time I've thought about HD Rumble on the Switch in years. The HD Rumble here is subtle, but it's the first thing I noticed while rolling around in Dream Buffet. Unfortunately, it was also a reminder that the tech here is old and has been outclassed by PS5's DualSense since then. There's clearly something for everyone on the Nintendo Switch, but for those of us who have grown up with Nintendo and their numerous portables and consoles, there's just something missing from Switch, and it's not just the fact that there's still no eShop music or the Wii U Zelda ports everyone keeps asking for.
Oh, that's a take.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting because it's true on the one hand that you get less of those, wacky things from third parties. But on the other hand, like you have far more third-party support than even the Wii had at this stage. There's still some key players that haven't come back, like Call of Duty. Call of Duty was huge on the Wii, but after the first one kind of bombed on the Wii U, they were like, "Oh, we're gone."
Yeah, they pieced out.
And EA is kind of pieced out too, because they'd have to make a fully different version for the Switch.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see how they were willing to do that in the Wii generation.
Yeah.
And then now they're just not. But at the same time, you see really incredible port jobs of like third-party games that manage to get running on the Switch. Might not be the way you probably should play them, but it's just like, wow, you got this running on here. Yeah. And you want to get like the Doom games running on there and The Witcher running on Switch. Like, all right, you got it running.
Yeah, I think the Joy-Cons do distinguish it a little bit. There just aren't a lot of things that really use them appropriately. Like I think Switch Sports is one of the few things that, takes a Joy-Con and like does something different with it than a normal controller.
I also think that motion controls, like, they've had their like time. I think, you know, there's still a place for them every now and then, but like I don't think it's like the dominant like like aspect of the hardware anymore, or at least the software experience. So
yeah, I mean, I think it depends. Like, you know, the right game it works right for. You know, like, and obviously all the VR controllers are using motion controls in their own way.
Yeah.
And the you know, the gyro aiming and stuff like Splatoon and the few PlayStation 5 games that'll pick that up as well.
It's still a good point though that like things have caught up though. There's like Steam Deck is
still
it's
still more of a laptop replacement than a Switch replacement.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's a replacement.
It's also still very limited in quantity.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, Nintendo was like kind of out of the gate, the first out of the gates with the novelty of the Switch hybrid. I think they'll stick with it, but it raises the question of what will Nintendo do next? Because, you know, will simply this doing the same thing work? Will they try something different, or you know what? It's interesting to see, but hey, it's still selling very well. And I think they're going to keep riding it for as long as they can, because there's no reason really to move on just yet. While those, I mean, the software sales, especially first-party software, just very strong on that system.
Yeah, and it's been good for indies.
It has. I think a lot of games that get a port, even games that you would like laugh at, like even like The Witcher or Doom games, like the companies have expressed like, oh, you know, sold to expectations, or maybe a little bit better than their expectations. Yeah. So. Yeah, they're not doing the numbers they did on their original multi-platform releases, but it seems like they've been like everything kind of pays off on Switch. That is a big third-party and or a first-party effort.
Yeah, and I think that in general, stuff like JRPGs and side-scrolling games and all of that, they are more conducive to a handheld experience. I mean, not that there's a downside to playing them on a TV, but a big 3D thing like Breath of the Wild is like, sure, I can play Breath of the Wild in handheld mode, but I would rather play that on my TV.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I think that like there is sort of that sense that like people are going to play the bigger 3D games on the TV, and then they'll play the side scrollers and turn-based things on on the go.
Yeah. I would actually argue while there might be as many unique experiences, I think the third-party support on Switch is like some of the best it's ever been since like maybe like the SNES generation. Just seeing this year, Square Enix, how many games are coming out? I mean, they're multi-platform, but they're also on Switch. Plus, Square Enix has been putting a lot of
Persona 5 Royal coming on it.
Exclusive on Switch, or at least timed exclusive, and they're all the types of games Blood's been saying, like strategy games, RPGs, just a lot of really good entries on there. They're like kind of the return of like those like B tier or like AA or single A games. Everything doesn't have to be AAA. Like Switch kind of showed that space can exist again, and I think the third parties have capitalized on that, have really reaped those benefits. Next entry is from Bruno Source. Hello, Damiani and Blood. I'm here to share with you all the EZA Forums Holo Greats for September. The inductees this time are Doom 2 and, unlike the EZA Holo Greats for now, Outer Wilds.
Nice.
It was a pretty stacked lineup with Forza Horizon 5, What Remains of Edith Finch, and XCOM Enemy Unknown, just to name a few nominees. You all had some great discussions and presentations, so if anyone desires, go check those out. Besides that, however, I'm working through Jack 2, Final Fantasy 7, and Final Fantasy 15, along with some Halloween games starting to sprinkle in with Inside and Limbo so far. Limbo had a grand eerie vibe of Halloween goodness. Splatoon 3 and Persona 5 Strikers have fallen to the wayside, but just gotta get in a groove for them again. But as always, go Jets, 2-2, with two crazy, heart-wrenching comeback wins. Dominic, good luck with the Yankees in the playoffs.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully...
good luck, or good job Outer Wilds getting in there. It's a bummer that it didn't get in ours yet, because it's It's always hard when it's like something that should be in there just doesn't quite get the votes. It's like, oh.
Here's hoping Judge hits home run number 62 in the last 3 games left and breaks Roger Maris's record. All right. Next submissions from Robert Lee.
Robert Lee, good day, Damiani and Bloodworth. I hope you're both doing well. In September, I managed to play through Return to Monkey Island. Nice. Yeah, I've been eyeing that one. Haven't gotten to it yet. Which I was really enjoying until the end, which I'm really not sure what to make of. I'm really curious what everyone else thinks about the game's conclusion. It seems fitting for the series, but for some reason, it didn't jive with me. Playing on casual where the puzzles seem straightforward. I've started again on hardcore and I'm already stumped in the opening moments. That is interesting.
Oh, wow.
Games that like change their puzzles enough for you to have that after playing through it. Yeah, that's curious, interesting. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake again, and I feel like I need a scene-by-scene explanation about what's going on at the end of this game. Like, where are they fighting the final fight? How do they get there? Why are they fighting? It almost seems pointless. What does the whole 7 seconds thing mean? How do they end up back outside of Midgar afterwards? I don't think all these are going to be answered in the sequels. Probably not. Fought and beat Vice for the first time. That fight was brutal. Now got to get through Intermission Story. I started playing Football Manager 2022 last month and my addiction level has risen. I'm still in my first season and the team is severely underperforming, and yet I still get these entitled players demanding bigger contracts. The nerve they have after their lack of commitment and effort to the cause. I ended up plummeting all morale by offering a much lower contract and a hefty pay cut to everyone who's not doing their job. At this rate, I'm getting sacked either way, but I'll go out on my own terms by playing the youth team. What a game. Chipping away at Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'm addicted to chain attacks at the moment. I just can't stop trying to accumulate as much damage as possible to the bigger foes. Although I'm skipping everyone, I doubt I'll beat this by the end of the year. I'm not sure what that sentence is, but sorry.
Cutscenes.
Oh,
I think they've said in the past they skipped the cutscenes in this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crazy.
I have actually started to watch stuff during my morning workout. I'm surprised what the game is about. I'm still scratching my head after getting through Immortality. Yep, there's another one I gotta play. The FMV game by Sam Barlow. I heard there's still a lot more to uncover after the end credits. I just haven't had the time or patience. Is there spoiler mode for this? No, I don't think so. Isla's done a little bit with it, but yeah, I don't think we'll have a full-on spoiler mode. Unless maybe, yeah, another one of us beats it and Isla still has a good memory going for it. I still want to get through Hard West 2, Brock the Investigator, Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, Dying Light 2, Midnight Fight Express, and Cyberpunk 2077. The problem is that I'm enjoying all of these games at the moment. I just don't have the time. Hear you there. I'll end by saying Mysterious Monsters is awesome and deserves more views. Ashley Birch is amazing. That's all for this month. Have a nice one.
All right, I think this is our last text submission. Sorry. It's a little bit of a game word thing here.
Okay.
It's a little bit ahead. So it's from Level Capybara. Hi Damiani, hi Bloodworth. Hope autumn is treating you well. It's October, the season of scares, and what could be scarier than an impromptu Mad Lib? Well, allies, gather your courage because this Mad Lib is inspired by a long-running series about castles and Vanias. It's up to you to fill in the blanks and bring it to life. First, we'll need... Alright, so we're supposed to pick all this. We need to pick a location, so...
Okay, Pumpkin Patch.
Pumpkin Patch. Alright, a noun.
Candle.
Candle. Past tense verb.
Swallowed.
Swallowed. Name of an ally.
Huber.
Huber. Alright. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 plural nouns.
Okay. Grapes.
So grapes.
Thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks.
T-shirts.
T-shirt. Oops. One more.
Throwing stars.
Throwing stars. All right, adverb.
Quickly.
All right, and 2 more nouns.
Mace.
A mace, and the last,
Plunger.
and a plunger. All right. Lastly, before we begin, let's do some casting. Who will play Richter Belmont, and who will play Dracula?
Oh. Do you have a preference?
Do not. We need our parts, and then we will go through this Mad Lib. Chat,
Okay.
do you want to pick, or your last chance, Blood? Otherwise, ask chat.
I guess I'll be
Blood
Dracula.
should be Dracula. There you go. All
Okay.
right. Here we go. Die, monster! You don't belong in this pumpkin patch.
It was not by my hand that I am once again given candle. I was swallowed here by Huber, who wished to pay me grapes.
Thumbtacks! You steal men's t-shirts and make them your throwing stars.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Oh, another plural noun. Oh, did I go out of...
8.
So, oh, sorry, I said grapes. You steal men's thumbtacks and make them your t-shirts. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Your throwing stars are as empty as your soul. Mankind quickly needs a mace such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of plunger. But enough talk. Have at you.
There you go. Well, how'd it go? Thanks for indulging, and don't stress too much over the results. No matter what, I promise you're putting the IP to better use than Konami ever will. Love and respect. All right, it is now time for our images and artwork. So let's
Nice.
switch on over here. And first set comes from Sarah Knight. Hello, Damiani and Blood. Hope you guys are doing well. This month, I'm going to be showing you some panels from my new webcomic, Pantheris. I tried to pick ones that were not too spoilery, as well as ones that I had fun making, and the last image is an announcement for the latest episode that was posted up yesterday, that I did literally the day before. There should be a link in chat for the new link, since I couldn't upload onto the old link. So if anyone that's subbed to the old one should resub to the new one. Hope you guys continue to stay safe and be awesome. To everyone around you, much love and respect, Sarah Knight. So let me get these images going. Here we go. So here's our first image. All right, and there's the link in chat from Sarah Knight.
Nice.
All right. Someone lying down on a pillow here. Oh yeah, hopefully this works. Yeah. The
New style.
new XSplit. Yeah. Someone just lying down there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're thought. All right. Also contemplating here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, they're eating some soup or something over there. Yeah. Stuff.
Oh, he's got a ladle, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Looks sick.
Yeah, or just got looks dejected maybe. Yeah, either tired, sick, or something didn't go their way. Oh, what's this? Oh, is that I thought it would be a vendor, but they're on the other side, so they're the ones trying to buy something.
Or, yeah, I guess it's a marketplace.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like the balls that you would like throw at like a carnival.
Okay, that too, Blood. Yes, it could be that. Yes, absolutely. All right. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's who they're talking to?
Yeah, it seems like a shady vendor.
Shady vendor.
Or a tired vendor.
All right, here we go. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, nice little close-up there. And finally, this is the announcement.
Oh, nice.
submission notes for the latest episode. So here we go. Oh, I think there are like secrets in these, in all this you got to figure out. Right?
Got it.
I believe that's how it usually works. And Sarah is very good at stumping all of us, including the community, with their hidden messages. Yeah. All very good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they look like letters, but you got figuring out what order they might go in. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, let's see what's next. Good stuff. Next is from Mo Grant.
Hey, Damiani and Blood, and happy spooky season. I'm happy to be back with another update for our new comic, Max Axel and the Wild Circuit. Like I said last month, this is a self-contained one-shot story about a fun, cartoony race filled with unpredictably off-the-wall racers that takes inspiration from video games, anime, and Saturday morning cartoons. In addition to seeing our racers in action, this month you get a look at Richard and Roger as they report on every development of the race from the bird's eye view of the announcer-thopter. We're excited to bring you 3 sets of work-in-progress pictures for 3 different pages from the book. The first picture in each set will be the initial pencil sketches, followed by the ink outline, and then last, the color flats. Our first work-in-progress page shows Max and Axel. Shows the titular star Max Axel taking an early lead.
Okay, so let's get this going here.
Nice. That's the announcer thopter.
Yeah, so let's go through the three things here. So again, the pencil sketches, and then we'll go to the ink outline here.
Nice.
And finally, we got the color flats.
Very nice.
Alright.
Check that hat. Check the colors on that truck, too.
Yeah.
6-wheel truck.
Alright. Oh, dude.
Suddenly appearing in first place on the second page, it's the cunning chameleon twins, Karina and Cassie.
Alright. So there we got the sketches.
Very nice. Oh, the chameleon car looks great too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people in chat liked these 2 characters a lot. Last time we got to first introduced to them.
Boom.
There's the ink outline. And finally, the color flats. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see their costumes too. Very nice. The third page features the fire-breathing lizard shark and the futuristic Speedhawk battling for position after a big jump.
Oof. Alright, here we go.
Lizard shark!
Oh, did I miss one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we just missed the initial...
I think I missed the pencil thing, but also...
You got the scene in there at least.
Yeah.
Lizard shark! Oh, he's breathing fire at the announcer's thopter. What's he got against the announcer's thopter?
Love this. Love that card.
For this month's final picture, a message from the new luminaries and the rest of the Lucky 33 crew. Have a great Halloween, everyone, and thank you so much for the continued support and positive vibes.
Oh, it says show 3 pics, so that's why I was a little confused. You said there was no pencil for this page?
Show page 3.
Oh, page 3 pics. I read that wrong.
Yeah.
That would be why. And here we go. This is the last thing. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's great. That's really nice.
Very cool.
That's really nice. That might be what I grabbed for the thumbs. Let me make a...
Blood making a note.
Make a note. Make a note. That might be our thumb.
Sorry, did you say the websites or no?
No, I did not. As always, anyone can find more amazing art at our artist website, http://jrcomicart.com. That is jrcomicart.com. And more of our previous comics at lucky33comics.com.
Nice. All right. Our next submission comes from Tirju Engi. Hey, Blood and Damiani. Been bringing some been binging some Jackie Chan movies, rewatched Bakano, and gone through the latest season of Cobra Kai. Suddenly the month is already over. Time sure flies. Didn't finish one I was planning for this month since there were parts I'm still not happy with. So leaving a work in progress of those. Going to still change a bit or just scrap it all together. So let's take a look at that work in progress from Tierju. So here we go.
Nice.
So that's
Oh, just the position though. I'm feeling like she needs some Pepto.
Oh, and here's the other
Holding that
one.
stomach pretty tight.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's like supposed to be like a lawyer, like the book, like I'm gonna throw the book at you, or judge, or if it's like a summoner, with their book about to summon something, like a caster. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, the rest are photos from my trip, and this time from the event itself. Hugo was a legendary game you played with punching numbers on your phone from the 90s. A Porsche that was painted on parts of some GT7 thing, I think. Genshin Impact booth and merchandise I bought at their store. So let's see if we got those there. So this is Hugo.
Oh yeah, I remember this little dude.
Yeah, so we got.
But you played it by punching numbers on the phone?
Yeah, look at that.
Crazy. So yeah, definitely a modem game.
That's pretty cool. Next one, here we go. So we got the
Dang.
a Porsche that was painted on some GT7.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I slide it over a little.
Yep. Yeah, look at that. And I think there's a second picture of it here, a side view of it as well. Look at that. Yeah, dang.
That car is crazy.
And then we got Genshin Impact booth, I believe, is next. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Wait, where was this? Genshin Impact booth of what?
Thinking this could be EGX was
okay.
the most recent. I'm guessing because EGX was the most recent major convention. Or it could be Tokyo Game Show. I'm not sure. So it's either EGX or TGS. I'm not entirely sure. Didn't state. A sick Gundam shirt I found on sale at a Uniqlo store, and one of the greats, an amazing scene from In Frame from Mega Man X. Well, Uniqlo makes me. They're also in Europe too, so.
Yeah, they're worldwide.
All right, so let's take a look at that. Oh, that's more Genshin Impact. Sorry. And then we got the Uniqlo shirt.
Nice.
Yo,
That's good.
That's really cool.
That's a good one.
I'm not even into Gundam, and that still looks sick. And last but not least, the Mega Man X. That's pretty cool. You can actually rotate it.
Rotate. There it is.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, what a good scene. So I've been continuing Genshin, and new areas have been great. Been trying to get a character from a banner that shouldn't be hard, and yet after 20 chances to get them, I still did it. Just my luck as usual. Anyway, the OST is as great as ever. Like previous areas, they mix a bit of some real-life music to make the locations sound authentic and familiar to them. I really recommend giving it a listen. The game also turned 2 years old, and fan content had some amazing stuff that they streamed. Played Rise of the Tomb Raider. The first game was just horrible, and the second was slightly better because there weren't many annoying and horrible characters. I guess the franchise is just not for me. Probably going to play the third one at some point and just put the whole thing to rest, and not wait a year and a half like I did with the second game. Love and respect.
Sure. Yeah. The story has definitely not been a strength of those Tomb Raider games for me. I do like the level design in both of those. The third game was rougher for me to get through. And I couldn't put my finger on it because there's so many things that they did with that game that, like, describing it, like, oh yeah, that sounds great, and like the idea of this seems good. I don't know. It felt like there were specific levels in the third Tomb Raider that I liked, but the game as a whole kind of dragged.
Yeah. Well, we now move on to our audio segment here. Mm-hmm. And let me get ready to go. I believe I have it all queued up.
Michelle's made it.
Whenever you are ready, if you want to read this one.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we read it first.
Okay.
For Kevin Gillette.
Hello, Danny and Bloodworth. I will be on vacation in London when the showcase happens, so I won't be attending live. Hi, chat. I'm having a lot of fun with Splatoon 3, which means my Xenoblade 3 playthrough has slowed down considerably. The vibes during Splatfest were great. Yeah, I actually got, basically already got the end clip for my review during Splatfest, just getting that concert stage. And then I just sat there and let the music play so I can use the music in there too. Anyways, the vibes during Splatfest were great, and I'd never put that much time into Splatfest before because I wanted to get the Splatfest ruler badge for my Splat tag. I'm trying to do what I've always wanted to do with the first 2 games and stick to it for longer. Thankfully, this team has trained me in returning to a game daily with Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is also my most played Animal Crossing. Where would we be without EPD 5? Anyway, perfect time to submit something I had lying around for some time, an attempt at redoing Cephala Parade, a classic tune for Splatoon's campaigns, using only core gadget, whoa, for Nintendo Switch. One day when playing around with it, a few sounds reminded me of that tune, and I had to try remaking it. So enjoy. Love and respect, Kevin Gillette. Nice. Really reminds me of when they put a Super Nintendo game on Game Boy or something like that. Mm-hmm. Just kind of making it work and still sound cool.
Our next submission comes from Jesse Blue. Hi, Bloodworth, Damiani, and chat. Happy October and greetings from the Midwest. I hope you are all doing as well as possible. Easy chilling was a great fun time, and I hope you are looking forward to the upcoming month of streaming as much as I am. While I have never been one for horror movies or games, the enthusiasm with which your team enjoys this genre is infectious, and it has me hyped. I had been disappointed lately in the revenue numbers, but the core community you have always seems to come through for these marathon fundraiser streams. The goals and games were great, Damiani's fanfiction was jolly, and the sketches and hats were wonderful. I was surprised, highly flattered, and humbled that Jason Wishnoff complimented me, and the response from chat reiterated to me that just being nice has a positive impact on people. Sorry. From my submission this month, I wanted to say that I now have more time to work on recording voiceover and have even submitted a few auditions.
There's some leftover Bride water over there if you want some.
Have this stray piece of peanuts.
Oh, yeah, no, nuts will do that.
Yeah, seeing all of the friends of the allies becoming more successful in the industry has me excited at what the future has in store for me. I know it will take time and patience to actually get hired, but most streams do take time. That said, if anyone in chat has anything they would like someone to collaborate on with them and record voiceover, my DMs are open. I work cheap. I have attached a sample for your consideration. Bloodworth, feel free to use the wording on any of these promos for future projects. I think you're missing out not promoting the $5 tier as much as the $1 tier. Thank you, and I wish you all a happy Spooktober. Love and respect. Hugs and smiles, Jesse Blue. Here we go.
The Easy Allies stream every Tuesday.
I'll restart it
twitch.tv/.
with louder audio in just a second.
The Easy Allies stream every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/EasyAllies. Be sure to follow us to be notified when we go live and subscribe to remove ads. If you like what you see, visit patreon.com/EasyAllies and help us keep this hype train rolling. For just $5 a month, you can join our official Discord and gain early access to most of our other shows. Easy Allies reviews are made possible through the generous support of viewers just like you. If you like what you see, visit patreon.com/EasyAllies to help us make more. For just $5 a month, you can join our official Discord and gain early access to most of our shows. Easy Allies reviews are made possible through the generous support of viewers just like you. If you like what you see, visit patreon.com/EasyAllies to help us make more. For just $5 a month, you can gain early access to most of our shows, including extended cuts where we leave in all the juicy bits, as well as access to our official Discord. Talk directly with the allies and members of our loving community about a wide range of topics, from video games, shows, movies and music, to hobbies such as anime, books, board games, Gundams, food, photography, and more. Review copy provided by PlayStation.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, sorry. It's that was perfect timing.
Oh, from Michelle Jackson, who just made it to chat. Hello, Damiani and Blood. Life has been busy with school, work, and my internship. So I've given myself permission to take a short break from game dev till I graduate in December. I couldn't manage to completely step away though, so I'm sharing an early version of the startup menu with its accompanying music.
All right. Here we go. Oh, turn back on. That's right.
definitely reminds me of a like somewhere between like a FTL and an Axiom Verge there.
We're now in our final segment, the video section, and first up, Alexander Ziranov. Hello,
Nice.
allies. I'm continuing highlighting Apex Legends characters, and today we'll talk about Ashe. I'm actually curious. Assuming the rate that they add new Apex characters, how many more months will they be able to do this out? I'm very actually kind of like, how long could it be? I actually don't know.
I'm sure he's got the calculation. Yeah.
And I'm very curious if you might tease the next game series you would do after. But anyway, I'm continuing highlighting Apex Legend characters, and today we'll talk about Ashe. Born in the unforgiving frontier, Dr. Ashley Reed learned early that no one will look out for her except herself. One day, she was hired by Apex Predators mercenary group to steal an experimental fuel source she and Dr. Mary Somers were working on. When Somers discovered that the fuel can only be gathered on the accretion disk of a black hole, the duo went there, and after the sample was captured, Reed disconnected Somers' tether, leaving her to die.
Jeez.
Upon returning, Ashley worked with other scientists, including Mary's son Newton, to refine and replicate the sample. When they finally succeeded, Reed sent Newton away and brought mercenaries to kill everyone else and claim the result. Yo, is this like Walter White?
What the heck?
Scientists managed to activate self-destruction and stabbed Reed's chest with her own sword. To save herself, Ashley agreed to have her mind uploaded into a robotic shell, despite the mental trauma this would cause. After becoming the simulacrum known as Ashe, she continued working with Apex Predators until her body was crushed by Jack Cooper, the protagonist of Titanfall 2. When Loba joined the Apex games, she solicited the assistance of the other legends to rebuild Ashe's head and get important information from her. Later, Mary Somers, who managed to save herself and joined the Apex games as Horizon, hacked Ashe's mind to find out what happened to her son. However, that made Ashe aware of the presence of Reed's human personality. So she entered Apex games to prove her superiority and get rid of her more compassionate side, which she believes is the source of her past failures. Wow. In terms of gameplay, Ashe is an offensive legend. Her passive ability shows locations of recent death boxes and allows scanning them to reveal positions of their killers. This informs you where fights have happened and where to go to find loot and your next prey. Ashe's tactical ability throws a snare that damages and temporarily tethers the first enemy that gets too close. This allows you to stop an opponent's attempts to escape, or to block doors and passages and postpone assault endeavors. Additionally, you can use Snare to check if someone is hiding behind a cover. With her ultimate ability, Ashe opens and immediately enters a one-way portal to a targeted location, and other players may choose to follow her. This can be used for relocation, closing distance to enemies, or for escaping from their attacks. However, the exit of your portal is clearly visible, so your opponents can prepare to meet you when you arrive. I like playing as Ashe because of her involvement in the lore and because she pushes playing aggressively, which is something I'm too indecisive about. In this video, I've tried to highlight her abilities as well as her interactions with Horizon, Revenant, and other legends. This is just a small taste. The game has so much more than I can possibly show in just 3 minutes. Okay, so chat was saying something.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. There's just one person had an issue with the Twitch app.
Okay. Good. All right. Let's check out this video.
Listen, you don't know what she's capable of. I will show you. Death box there. Marks pinpointed. Not so fast. I'll blind you. They will be bound. Got them. They should have run faster. No way out. Moving here. Follow me. Tearing away.
Oh. So that's
Oh yeah. That's a cool way to do that.
A phase tear. Use it.
it's kind of like the character in the post-credit scene of Marvel Multiverse of
Our
Madness.
squad mate fell. Avenge them. Shattered an enemy's shield. Many enemies killed. I'm happy to provide more. Half of the squads have been removed. Always a killer.
Top half. Anything's possible when Reed's not trying to kill me.
Do not make me regret my choice.
Care package incoming. We all remember caring, don't we? You kill leader. Let's focus our attention on them, Dr. Reed.
An acceptable selection.
Glad you like it, Ash. Now move along before Ash is what I turn you into. Next ring's far. Move your feet, be they organic or terrifying sword thingies.
Yes.
How generous. Not like you at all. Back on your hooves, you heartless toaster.
Thank you for the assistance. You should have let her stay down. She'll be unbearable now. Weak. Your prime has passed, Simulacrum. Your pathetic efforts diminish Simulacra.
First one's finished. They're all dead now. So, this is what superior looks like.
You will not touch me again, Simulacrum.
There. All there.
Helmet here. Don't lose your head. Level 3.
Thanks. Hey, you used to work with my dad, right?
His death was a shame. Perhaps someone was holding him back. Shield. An entire squad gone. How pitiful. One squad left to rout. 10 seconds.
You are the Apex Champions.
Nice. Fun stuff.
All right. Next submission comes from Damon, Radioactive Magic.
Hello, allies. I hope you are doing fantastic with everything. Finally, it is time in my long-running series to talk about legendary Pokemon. If the franchise ever did a reboot, then the world building and game mechanics need to be greatly considered about where they fit into it all. Go from 8:46 for 3 minutes. There are so many parts of this I wish I could show you as well, but I am very grateful just to show you this much. Have a wonderful evening.
Let's hope we finish downloading. All right. And
Yep.
then give me a second while I skip ahead to 8. Let's say
8. Oh, it's behind the window.
46.
46. Okay, that's good.
Close enough. There you go. Oh, I did play.
It's a
sorry.
moment of awe, of wonder and fear. Which leads us to the topic of the great and terrible powers that Pokemon can wield. This is the bridge between world building and the game mechanics. Just how powerful should the magic of Pokemon be allowed to be? Obviously, we have a Pokemon that is the actual literal god of that universe, but let's break this down a little. Should legendaries have a power cap? Should we avoid giving them
Ultimate cosmic power.
because that is a slippery slope, one that Pokemon fell right into. Arceus is the creator of all things, so why can it be knocked out by a Jigglypuff that has had one too many rare candies? It makes for a pretty jarring narrative in my taste, just for that fact alone. For a Pokemon that is capable of creating other Pokemon, who themselves can control time, space, and antimatter, why would it care for your pathetic Master Ball? From the 3rd generation onwards, the plot revolving around the villains has always involved them going after some powerful legendary Pokemon to advance their agendas. It went from the world's land masses at risk of destruction to then the whole universe was at risk of destruction. Then it went from people were not going to be allowed to have Pokemon to then all Pokemon everywhere were going to die. In story writing, this is known as power creep, not to be confused with power creep in game design, though they work very similarly. In writing, this is where the author thinks that the only way to keep the audience interested in the story is to escalate the tension by putting a greater amount of things at stake. But one of the problems of putting the continent or world or universe at risk is that the human mind just can't quantify elements that big. It becomes harder and harder to feel that tension personally when what is endangered becomes more and more external to what we are familiar with. If you can't relate to the story, you can't relate to the Pokemon at the heart of that story. I am aware that most legendaries are inspired by a theme or mythos from human history, and I believe that plays an important role in making them special. What I struggle with is having them not just represent things like time and space, but giving them the actual power over those themes. Having Pokemon represent the land, sea, and sky is cool. Having them actually be the ones that shaped the planet's form, and then have a child throw them in a battle against a Marchop just feels out of place. Don't get me wrong, I actually do want the legendaries to have something more special to them over the rest of the Pokemon. I just don't want that special something to be lost in what could quickly become unfathomably overpowered.
All right.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, now I think about it, yeah, it's like, what business does your lowly Pokemon have fighting Arceus? It's like, none. Maybe they could just make it like an avatar of like the actual entity, so it's like only a fraction of its power or something. Yeah, like sure. I'm just like, you're just fighting me at whatever percent, like, yeah. And say like, oh, it's to make it fair. All right, next video comes from Nick Gothic. Hello, Damiani. Hello, Blood. Wanted to take the opportunity to show a Commodore 64 demo my demo group Atlantis made for the Atwood Summer Open Air demo party in August.
Wow.
It was a very low-key event with cozy camping and barbecuing with about 12 people, which I couldn't have been a part of since I live so far away from, I'm going to butcher this, Salzgitter, Germany. I don't know if I said that anywhere near right, but I apologize. But I was a part of the demo, though, providing some small artwork, like the two anime girls you'll see in the middle. You'll know them when you see them. Sadly, it kind of pales in comparison to the other stunning artwork in here by more experienced people. Want to give my shout out to my fellow is that a word?
Graphician.
Is that really a word?
Probably not.
Okay, Graphician, Lobo, then to Doc Science, is it Zero? Do you pronounce the Q? Oh my gosh. Q0. I'm just going to say Q0. Krill, and No Mistake for the coding.
No mistake.
I like that. And last but not least, Mythos from the rival demo group, Delicid, which makes this demo an Atlantis plus Delicid collaboration. Man, there's so much like lore going on here. Mythos did the music and also did the amazing artwork at the end with the dragon, and he's a creative force in a completely different league. Much love to all my fellow sceners, and without further ado, here are 3 minutes of the Atwoods winning demo, Mad Woods Ahoy. So here we go. Let me get this set up. Alright, so at the beginning, nice.
Yes, the screen. Lodestar.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, this music. They're the enemy girls.
Oh.
There you go.
The time limit. All right.
Nice.
Oh, we got 2 more here. Next one's from Mellow Fellow.
Hey, Damiani and Blood, been keeping at it with the game reviews using the amazing golden voice tier. Thanks again, Blood, for being patient with me with the scripts. LOL. Love and respect, Mellow Fellow.
Boy, here we go. Cannot wait.
I am ready.
It seems we get a couple retro FPS games every year, aiming to capture that adrenaline-pumping experience we grew to love. Bite Barrel's Forgive Me, Father combines Lovecraftian horror with a comic book flair to try to bring something new to the table. Does it succeed in standing out, or is it doomed to be just another clone?
The whole city is defiled by this terrible disease. I hope the
Doomed, you see.
The story begins when you receive a letter from your cousin in dire need of your help, though upon your arrival, you realize something's gone terribly wrong. Most of the story comes from tidbits you find throughout each level. While it's not the main focus of the game, it's hard to keep up with when you miss several pieces of story throughout multiple levels. And the ones you do pick up sometimes feel nonsensical or not related to the plot at all. Sometimes after completing a level or boss, you'll get a comic book style cutscene, but they are few and far between.
You got there soon enough. You noticed that the locals were quick to leave this place. You felt observed.
At the start of the game, you'll have standard weapons, such as a knife, pistol, and shotgun, but as you level up, you'll be able to upgrade these weapons through a skill tree. When upgraded, not only do the weapons look gnarlier, but they can transform altogether. You can turn a burst submachine gun into a fully automatic one, or a grenade launcher. A Tommy gun can turn into a laser, and the shotgun can have one of the crunchiest reloads you've ever heard. You also get to choose between 2 characters, the priest and the journalist. Each has their own set of abilities that can be upgraded when you level up as well. The priest's abilities are more defensive, like heals and temporary invincibility, while the journalist has more offensive abilities, such as an AoE attack and a temporary rage mode where you have increased melee damage and added lifesteal. Both are fun, but the priest's abilities are somewhat favored, seeing as they can be used in any situation, including boss fights. The game shines brightest in its visuals. The hand-drawn sprites, levels, and even weapons truly ooze that eldritch atmosphere H.P. Lovecraft fans adore. It really pulls you in to those quiet moments, roaming through dark, dank corridors, with the main light source being your lantern. But of course, the silence is quickly broken by the numerous enemies that lurk in the shadows. Each one is ghastlier than the last, as the game introduces them to you at a steady pace throughout most of its runtime.
Oof.
While the visuals are great, the level design feels somewhat lacking. Most levels come down to finding the 3 colored keys, opening their corresponding doors, and it'll end either in an arena-type horde mode or not. It's also normal to find ammo pickups for most of your guns all clumped up together rather than meticulously placed throughout the level. It makes it fairly easy to go through levels with just a couple or so weapons, rather than using your whole arsenal. The music is solid, but has been the standard for this genre for almost 3 decades. It would have been nice to have pumped some of that Lovecraftian energy and tone into the soundtrack to help set it apart. Tracks will also play suddenly without any build-up, and your character's repetitive one-liners won't help either. The voice acting is hit or miss, but is definitely something even Duke would scoff at.
Who the hell were they? They didn't look like normal thugs.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's a great story, but it's not my thing.
Oh, rough.
Forgive Me, Father is a good enough entry that is held up by its visual style. It doesn't push the genre forward in any way, but maybe that wasn't its goal to begin with. Maybe it just wanted to be a good game, in which you can shoot a crunchy shotgun at zombies and call it a day. Final score, 7 out of 10.
Good swimming.
Swimming.
Good trip to the pool right there.
Yeah. All right. It's time for our final submission from Wingaticus. Hey, Damiani and Blood. Gameplay Dismay here. Hope you're doing well. Still going on my Robin Hood Elden Ring run, so here's
Robin
just
Hood.
another short clip. Invisible parry on the Black Knife Assassin. Getting close to millennia now, and that's gonna be crazy. Hope the allies in chat can come check me out sometime. Love and respect. So let's switch on over. And here we go.
See if we can get the invisible parry. Yeah, I wanted to try something too. I'll do it next round if I don't beat him. Just try to stay here for a second. Yeah, get it. Oops.
Oh.
I fought the Black Knight Assassin.
Ah.
Did I miss this version of the fight?
I definitely fought this.
Shit. Oh.
Like, fought like his Spectre version or whatever.
Hmm.
Damn. Kind of see his dust on the ground.
That's where I feel like a magic user would have a very good advantage.
Yeah, I remember the fight, but I forget what I actually did with it.
Reminds me of friends trying to teach me WoW PvP to fight against, was it rogues or something? They can go invisible or something, or assassins. And I was like a mage, and they were like, use your arcane explosion to like try and hit us before we approach you, so you can reveal.
Oh.
I was able to summon this dude, and because you can fight like a real version, and there's like a spirit version of some of these fights. Because I fought him in like a crypt, like a tomb.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think
there it is.
Nice. I don't think I fought this one.
Visible parry.
Where is this?
Nice. I wish I killed him. That would have been even sweeter.
Yeah, I don't think I got that. No.
I believe I got that. Boom.
If it's what I'm thinking is, there's a kind of a crazy cave with a lot of secret passages.
I'll have to look it up.
I think there's like a waterfall or something. Well, there's already a waterfall in there, but yeah. Well, there it is.
That brings us to the conclusion of this month's community showcase. Thank you, everyone. Remember, $10 and up patrons, you can join the community showcase and send us your wonderful creative works for us to put on display here. And thank you for all your submissions for Bloodworth, and thank you, Bloodworth, for joining me.
Absolutely.
Who's supposed to be next month? Always do a little tease. Do you know? Not really.
I think it's Dawn.
Whoa.
Let me look. It's on the calendar already. I just gotta look.
It's either Huber or Dawn, right? I thought it might have been Huber.
Let me see. Let me see.
Dawn.
Where do we put it? Oh, it's gonna be on some weird.
Be on the November.
Dawn. Yep.
It's Dawn. November 1st. So look out for that post on patreon.com/easyallies, calling for your submissions. I'm going to please reiterate, read the instructions.
Yeah, sometimes we'll throw you off. Yeah, I had a thing with Love and Respect where like I switched things up and then somebody just like pasted in something from the last week and like, nope, I tricked you.
I will probably be DMing a few of you if you're still on the tier to maybe ask you for making the process a little simpler. There's some differences in submission technique this time, and it caused a small adjustment. But anyway, thank you so much to everybody, and the post should be, I set it to early access, so it should be live now, or at 3. It might be.
Oh yeah, it should be live at 3 then.
Yeah, 30 more minutes I think it'll unlock if it hasn't already. I think I set it to 3 for it to unlock, so everyone of who has access to our Patreon can go check it out. It should be public at that point. Yeah, that's I think that's it. Anything else?
The Mellow Fellow had mentioned that golden voice tier, so yeah, if you want to get in on that.
Oh yeah.
That's the $100 level. And then as we said, the $10 level is the showcase itself. If you just want to submit something here like this, and then any support that you can give us, very appreciated. Head to patreon.com/easyallies. And then we got Stream Team coming up after some resetting, and then tonight we're gonna play some spooky games. This PS1 demo disc in a mall thing. Isla knows about it. Isla suggested it. It seems cool. It's not an actual PS1 demo disc. It's a game that's made like a PS1 demo disc with various games in it, from my understanding. But yeah, should be cool.
Cool. All right. We'll see you all in a little bit, hopefully. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.